ko ivulele.
Penson Mlotshwa. Thank you very much for joining us on the virtual Mkuku. It's your first time here, and I'm hoping it's not going to be the last.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into introductions.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary for today's platform. I just want to shoot with the questions, if that's fine.
That's perfect.
I know you. Obviously, you're my brother. We hope, if the parents weren't lying.
Yeah.
You love gym. I know you're actually obsessed with gym. You love sports and you love guns.
Yeah.
Where do these loves come from, and why do you think everyone should follow your example?
So thank and thank you to the crew at Virtual Mkuku. We've got just in the background, we've got two DJs Boo. Thanks to everyone, Jobangila. So in terms of, sorry about this. So in terms of gym, guns, physicality, I think a lot of people, this is intimidating. The fact that I'm a camera up again,
It's a must. You're the teacher for today.
I'm a camera up again, and I don't know where to look.
You can look at me.
So I think most of us were raised in single mother households, or a lot of us. Let me not say most. And I think you can relate, as some may, on who's watching this. Oh, mama, the way they teach sons is very different. They've got the best intentions with the purest heart, but they don't. They cannot teach us life through the lens of a man, because they, and as we grow up, we start learning and we start facing challenges of men. Whether it is being a physical challenge, whether it's a financial challenge, whether it's an intellectual challenge, whatever the challenges may be. And I think as I've gotten older, there's certain things that I've seeked for that's trying to bring me closer to who I believe I am. The analogy that I always use is women are birds, men are fish.
Okay.
And as powerful as you are as a female, you are a bald eagle. You can't teach a guppy how to swim.
We're different animals.
We're totally different animals.
Okay.
So you can fight for equality, sharp, but a guppy and an eagle will never be equal. They'll be different in their own ways. With that being said, we grew up being told, be brave, be bold, be whatever the case may be. But a female in 2022 confronting a man and being and being confident and bold and brave and telling the guy, you're such a jerk, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. In 2022, the man is taught to manage himself. Tina, as gents, you do the same thing. You've seen it at rugby. We go to rugby all the time.
Yeah.
When you do that with men aren't as forgiving as they are when they are with women.
Yes.
I then started the journey about 15 years ago, probably when I was in grade 11, 2005. So I started the journey back there in Uguti. Once I started understanding, and I said, no, you know what? I need to manage myself, because I've been taught to be a strong black queen by a strong black queen. Now I understand how the world works for us as cheetahs. So should I become strong, bold, confident, and across the line? What's on the other side? If I'm debating with, let's say when I put, and we say 2 + 2 = 4, you say 2 + 2 = 5, and in Yaksaba, and now it becomes very, it's a contested point now. Now we become aggressive. In my grade 8 year, debating the same thing with the matric guy, I would have then conceded and said to the matric guy, okay, you are right, 2 + 2 = 5. And I would have lost a little bit of who I am. my journey into gym, my journey into guns, my journey into my own spiritually or physical, mental, is the fact that I can now say
a growth or a transformation.
Transformation, sorry, thank you. Is so that I can actually express and say to you, fuck you, 2 + 2 = 4. But when I was in grade 8, and a matric guy said to me 2 + 2 = 5, and if you don't agree, don't sang in Palma,
Yeah.
I would have said 2 + 2 = 5. 99% of the population now, I know when I say to him and I look at him and I say 3 + 3 = 10, they'll say 10. They might not say 10 initially, but they'll get to a point where they will agree with 10. Putin, if he says 3 + 3 = 10, and he's got his nuclear bombs faced at us, we will say 10. When Kim says the same thing, we'll say 10. When America, whoever the president is, will say
Joe
10.
Biden.
The concept of physicality or the concept of physical dominance is a umbrella thing that we've seen from the best of the best, but I've tried to apply it in my life. In the sense of, if I can manage me because of my own shortfalls, how I was brought up, how I was taught, how I was what, if I can bring it in my life and control my life, then I've got more of a say and management.
Were you bullied? It almost sounds like, from what you're saying, that when you were younger.
I was never bullied.
Okay.
I was never bullied. Some might say I bullied. In hindsight or in retrospect, I look at it as tough love. But I was never bullied. Yeah, but because I think, as much as I was raised by a woman in the likes of a girl, I think we still had a lot of dog within us. So, you can't just do whatever. Even though I was still a feminized man in my, 6'5", whatever the case may be. But I was still very, very much, I had the blood of Mlotshwa.
Mlotshwa.
Babako.
Two things are coming up to me now. The first one being, the answer to my question is, the reason you gym, love sports is because you're working on your physical prowess.
I'm working on my mental prowess.
Not a physical. You spoke about physical dominance.
So it's mental first. It's mental. This is mental. It's mental. I'm trying to beat myself up mentally. So there's guys who are smaller than me, bigger than me, taller than me, shorter than me, whatever the case may be, who might dominate me physically. I need to first understand that mentally. In the world of business, there's guys who, there's guys in the world of business who are younger than me, who will dominate me, who are older than me, who will dominate me, who are of a different complexion, who will dominate me. And I need to understand that mentally first and accept that, this is the rules or the laws of the space that I'm in, and then try and work and understand how can I manipulate that. The physical thing is just nothing. I'm probably the lightest I've been, weight-wise, if we talk about size, probably in like 8 to 10 years. But Penson of 10 years ago would never last 30 seconds with this guy. It's not about the size. It's not about the physicality. It's about the mentality that I have now. It's about the spirit that I have now. I'm in different worlds.
Doesn't this also apply to women as well? This desire to not be dominated and to have mental strength?
It applies to women. It applies to business. So I left the world of employment because the aim is whether I win or lose, at the end of the day, I'm accountable to it, right? So if I'm accountable, can I then be can I have as much control as I can? Because if I work at a restaurant and I'm a waiter, sometimes winning and losing doesn't depend on me. So I want to manage or control that part. If my restaurant business isn't doing well, then it's on me. Or if it is doing well, then it's also on me. Whether it's women, whether it is kids, whether it is your own personal, whatever the case may be, I want to just try as best as I can. I'll never control it fully. I accept that as best as I can.
The essence is to try and be the king of your own life and your own space.
If you can't be the king of your own domain, then
But then who becomes the subjects? Because is this advice for everyone or for
No.
specialized people?
It's advice for everyone. You need to be the king of your own life. You know, you might not have subjects yet. The subjects might come at a later stage. But if you can't manage ubuena, I know then you are how can you in this movie of the movie is called Pendugane, whatever the hell your name is, you know, Justice. If the movie is called Justice, how are you not the hero of your movie? You're gonna be the loser, or you're gonna be the sidekick.
Yes, the sidekick of Batman.
So the movie is called Penson Mlotshwa. The movie Penson Mlotshwa, and I must be sidekick of my movie. Life is a movie, your fucking movie. How are you gonna be the sidekick of your own life?
You believe everyone has this within them?
No. I believe Guti, it's necessary for you to have that within you. Guti, you ukhumbula ukuthi ama-movie awafani. Khona ama-movie box office that make $1 billion, khona wenza 100 million, khona wenza. It's not about to compare. It's saying ukuthi wena nje wenza lama movie la akumzansi magic, ne? Wenza Mlazi Gangster. But the title of the movie is called Pendugane Khatebe. You, whoever you are, can you be the hero? No, you can't be the hero of your own life.
Most people can't.
Then you're a fucking talala. Then you deserve to take a rope and hang yourself. In your own life, in your own life, if you can't be, or if you're not striving to be, I want to be clear. Let's say you're trying to be. If you're not trying or striving to be the hero of your own life or your own movie, you know, your movie might be flipping burgers. The whole movie is about flipping burgers.
Yeah.
But you are the hero and the main character of flipping burgers.
Sure.
You're the best burger flipper at the stall that you work at, whatever the case may be. But that is your movie. And if you are already sitting at yourself and saying, oh well, but I'm not the best flipper of burgers. Lana at McDonald's. I'm not the best Watwati. Lana Langtala Corona. I'm not. Then you want to be the sidekick of your own movie. You're wasting our time.
You mentioned two important things. The first one being that you were raised to be a black queen, a woman in essence, raised by a single mother.
A woman
The
with a penis.
second thing you said was, but it seems that you still had an element of dog, and you referenced your father in that context. What does it mean, you saying that you were raised to be a woman, number one, and number two, what does it mean that you had an essence of your father being a dog?
It's very intimidating.
You can look at me.
Now smile. Akasmile lo bhuti lona akasmile lo. Khona ubhuti ababili lana eningabazi. Bangihlukumeza uma ngibuka. So anyway, if you are a bird, a bald eagle, powerful.
And you're saying the birds are female. You're not saying it's some people.
I'm giving an analogy.
Okay.
Men being.
You said men are fish and women are birds.
Yeah, because even within men, there's sharks, there's guppies, there's whales, there's and even within, there's pigeons, there's
Eagles.
Yeah. So falcons, whatever the case may be. What I'm trying to say is that if all you know as a black, powerful queen is being an eagle, bold, strong, soaring, that's all you know, how can you teach anything else? You might think you're teaching something, but you can't. If I don't know how to drive, if I don't know how to drive, and now I have to teach you how to drive because I read it on a piece of paper or I watch YouTube, that's going to be a tricky thing. Now you need to live your life and move in the next car, understanding Wuti, this guy who doesn't know how to drive, just taught me how to drive. Did he teach you? You don't know if he taught you. It's a catch-22. It's the same thing with swimming. Ne? I'm a fish, right? As a man, I'm a fish.
Sure.
Now there's an eagle or there's a pigeon who's read it somewhere or ungizwa, he's heard it somewhere. Just go in and kick your legs and just do this. Many men are drowning. Many men today you might see them as a celebrity, or you think they've got cash, whatever the case, are drowning. Not because they are talalas. I'm not blaming women, because the women are amazing. I'm not blaming anyone. Because they were never taught how to swim
By a swimmer.
by a swimmer. They were never taught how to be a fish by a fish. So they don't know what the hell they're doing. So that's my thing. So when I say I'm feminized, I'm not saying, Guti, hey girl, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, Guti, ngafundiswa ukuba indoda. I was taught how to pee standing up by a person who's never peed standing up.
Did your mother teach you how to be a man?
She can't teach me how to be a man.
But did she try?
She tried as best as she could. But she'll never be able to teach me how to be a man unless she was a man. You can sympathize with the situation. If I've got a daughter who's going through period pains, I can always sympathize, but I'll never be able to empathize.
Yeah.
Because I've never experienced the pain. The pain could be a nonsensical pain, or the pain could be the pain of a 1,000
Daggers.
needles in my eyes. But I'll never empathize. I can sympathize, so I can give you Mybulin, I can give you a hot water bottle to put on your abdomen, I can give you my pairs, but I don't know. Do you put the tampon on when it's your time, or do you put it before your time? Those little...
Did your father ever teach you how to be a man?
I never, but I saw him swimming. I never saw my mom swimming as a fish. He never taught me how to swim, but I saw him swimming. He already tried to teach me how to swim, how to swim, but I never saw her swim. Those are two different things. So now, when I've got my feet and I've got the water up to my neck, I can either look at how other guys are swimming, or I can listen to this person who's never been in the water tell me how to swim.
Yeah.
Mlotshwa was a very dark man, and he did a lot of things that, to this day, I'll never forgive him. However, with that being said...
You'll never forgive him.
I'll never. Mlotshwa, I will...
Did things to you.
To me, Mlotshwa was a puss. We know that.
Okay.
But I'm not going to
Disclose.
disclose. Mlotshwa was just a... Am I allowed to swear?
This is the swimmer, sure.
Mlotshwa was
Well, you already said poos, so I mean, it's kind of late now.
I was saying poos. I was saying siapooza.
Jeez, okay.
No. Mlotshwa,
But he was a swimmer.
your father was an absolute cunt of a man.
Okay,
Your father.
okay.
My father, we don't know where he is. He's disappeared somewhere.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
So, no, man, he was a hard man.
But was he a normal man? Because that's the next question.
No, he wasn't a normal man at all.
Because you may have been learning
No.
or seeing swimming from
No.
someone who doesn't represent men.
I saw swimming from a shark, whereas there's schools of tuna that swim 1,000 strong. So I saw swimming from a shark, and
That tuna can be also eaten by eagles.
they can be
being the
eaten.
females.
Yeah, well, that may be true, but Mlotshwa was an absolute shock with the pros and cons. So however we want to reference it, Mlotshwa was a dark human being. Mlotshwa was not a... Yeah, man, it was very triggering when you asked me, Guti, did he do things to you? I'm triggered a little bit, you know. Manje angifuni-ke manje ukuthi ngibe emotionally kule nto lena. Podcast. But anyway, fuck that guy. But ngibuza inlungelo. Vele ngabhoreka. Ngibuza manje ukhuluma ku-camera manje ngikwazi ukupress pause.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is to be a present father? You're a father of 3 boys now.
Ooh, I'm a proud of the 3 most annoying talalas in the world.
That you love very much.
And you love very much. So between me and this guy, we've got 7 boys.
That's a lot of boys.
That's a gang lot of boys.
Between 2 men.
Between 2 men. Yeah. Do you have kids? No, our job is to populate for you guys. You know, slow. I've got coming up. I will ask Lalti, touch and go. Pull out. Pull out. Zwanish. But it's fine. No, the thing is, You've seen his posts. Quality men, smart men must populate. And that's who you are.
You're a
That
father
being
of
said,
3 boys.
I'm a father of 3.
The importance of being present as a swimmer.
Chabi. But present is subjective.
Yes.
Because we can't be present in a woman term. Ne? So I haven't seen my boys in a day. Ngambile uthi lo munye, baba, you're going to go phuza? Yeah, ngiyophuza. Ayongibuza kanjalo. Ngiyophuza. Duh. Ngizokubona mase ngikubona. The way in which we define being present for boys, we can't define it how mothers talk about it.
Sure.
Mothers talk about being present as in you can touch me, you can kiss me, you can look at me, you can what. As a father, being present is different. Because boys need to be boys outside of you. When you're always there, especially as a disciplinarian, as a shock, they're not given the opportunity to be them. Because by us, you already they can manipulate you already. Yabo? In their own ways. Because the relationship is different. But chances are very slim that they can manipulate you. Because it's a shark seeing another shark and you're going, oh,
Mufasa and Simba.
Mufasa and Simba. You can't manipulate Simba. You can't manipulate Mufasa. Duh. But you can manipulate Unala.
Sarabi.
Sarabi. You can manipulate Sarabi, but you can't manipulate Mina. And I think they can see that. So it's very important for me, Guti. Hamban. What they need to understand and what they need to do is, it's not, with men, it's not theory, it's practical. So they need to see more of me practically applying what I'm telling them to do. So if I'm saying to them, Guti, hey, you guys need to consume information. They need to see me on YouTube, they need to see me on Virtual Cook, they need to see me consuming information. And they go, hey, time I said this. So I'm on a journey of fighting. Yeah? I'm about to get my first MMA fight. With
Mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts. So they see me stretching, kicking the air, they see me watching videos. Now they are attracted to that. It's not just talking, hey, fighting is lekker, but they're seeing it. So, and when they see it, I see them sparring the air, kicking the air, and I go, that's the thing with sharks. That's the thing with fish. They need to see it more than they need to hear it. If they can see Ubaba, it doesn't have to be all the time, but they can see Ubaba doing gym things, push-ups. They can see Ubaba kicking and punching the air. They can see Ubaba watching in these things. They'll mimic. They can see Ubaba because I pretend to read because I know I hate reading.
Jeez.
I hate reading. But I know what it does a mind fuck to these ndangas. So I'll be like, oh wow, this is such an interesting book. I've got books. So if you're watching TV at my place, just below there's books. Ne? I've never read a single book that I have. I've listened to books. I love audiobooks. I consume information like that. All of the books that I have, I've listened to. But I hate this here. Kills me. But I'm trying to instill that. And I've seen that
the culture
now,
of reading.
Now they also read. So as they age, I'll try and move them from reading to listening because I think there's a better balance. Or I think you can listen while you drive. You can listen while you're at gym. You can listen while you're doing whatever your everyday activities. So
Speaking about mimicking, is it not possible for mom to do MMA, to lift weights? Is it not possible for dad to be the one that's cooking, nurturing?
It's impossible.
There are women that fight, that gym. There are men that are slightly more feminine, that are a bit softer, a bit nurturing.
Yeah. There's guys with 9 fingers and there's guys with 11 fingers.
I'm trying to figure out if this is a man-woman thing.
I will not groom my kids where they think, for the norm, people have 9 fingers. For the norm, people have 10 fingers.
Okay.
So how I'm going to build and manage risk for my kids is understanding, there's people who don't work hard in life and become successful.
Yeah.
But for the most of us, we need to work hard to become successful.
You said your father was not normal.
Yeah.
And you said you have a bit of him inside you. And there's a chance that you're not normal.
I'll have a bit of him and bit of my mom. So.
Is that not a 9-finger story Meaning
No,
that
no, no. I'm just talking-
maybe most men are not as masculine.
We're all not normal in our own ways.
Okay.
It's fun. Some guys are tall. That's not normal. Average height in South Africa is
Sure.
when you just beat the average height.
Whatever, mine.
Just.
Whatever, mine.
So we're all anomalies in our own unique ways, I guess, whatever the case may be, whether it's weight, height, mentality, money, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, there's still a norm. So I want to, or generally speaking, I want to make my kids understand, which is generally speaking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they can learn from that.
According to you, are not the average man.
No, I'm teaching them on the average. I'm teaching them on the general. I'm teaching them, for example, the average person, grade R is a matric. The average person. So I need them to understand that fully.
Isn't the average man more feminized than you, for example? You seem to be pushing an aggressive form of masculinity.
But that's my height, because I'm tall.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking in terms of raising your sons. When you spoke about 9 fingers, 10 fingers.
The average man, and that's okay for them. What I'm trying to say is that the average man might be 1.75 meters tall. That's okay. But now I'm LeBron. What must I do? I can fold the average man. So I want that for my kids to also understand which the average man is a talala and you must fold him. It means nothing for the average man. There's some billionaires that say the average man makes 2,000 rand a month.
So you're not the average man?
In this space.
My question was, can it not be that mom is not average herself?
Of course.
And raises the kids.
Yes.
And dad himself is also different.
That's perfectly fine.
Which would mean it's not a man-woman thing.
I'm saying, your mom might be a fish eagle.
Yeah.
And can dip underwater.
Yeah.
For that time. Great. And then
can she be a shark?
There's no fish, there's no bird ever that can be a shark. You can be a transgender man with a penis saying a woman with a penis saying that you are a woman. But you can't be a woman, because in 1,000 years' time, when they dig up your bones and look at your chromosomes, they'll say this was a man. But I identified as a woman. In 1,000 years' time, they'll say this was a man at the end of the day. So you can be a fish eagle and dip under the water for 2-3 seconds, whatever the case is. But you'll never go to the depths that a whale can go into. You'll never go to the depths that a tuna can go to and survive at that time. So you can have a strong, and again, just because you can't go into what doesn't mean you're not a strong queen. You can still be a strong queen, an amazing queen. Look after you and 50 of your other family members and 100 of your employees and what the case may be.
And maybe even eat fish.
And maybe eat fish. Nah?
Yeah.
But you can never be a fish. It doesn't mean that you are better or less than or what. It just means that you are different. The challenges that I see with women and men today is that they want to be the same. How can you be the same? You are different. So I might be the most useless guppy in the world. You might be the most powerful eagle in the world. Why would you want to be equal to a useless guppy that might just die because the water went up the gills the wrong way? You're a queen. That's always the problem. At the end of the day, let me show you, can a woman be? She can't.
She can never raise a boy into a man.
Never.
What is toxic masculinity?
That's stupid. It's retarded. What does that mean?
That's my question.
As
far as you know?
As far as I know, it's the damn women that say that.
There are some men that believe there's toxic masculinity.
Damn men that say that.
Things like gender-based violence.
We've been feminized. You need gender-based violence.
Apparently, it's when you domestically are violent towards someone based on their gender, or there's a gender aspect to it. Indeed, so when a woman hits another woman, it's not GBV.
Yeah.
When a man hits another man, it's not GBV. But when, for example, a man hits a woman, it's GBV. What we're currently not sure of is when a woman hits a man.
I was about to say, when women get hit or women hit men.
If that's GBV.
Yeah, so they mustn't call it GBV. They must call it MGW. Abantu bazihlama. Yini ihlama?
So in your opinion, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity?
No, Lunga, there can't be toxic masculinity. I've been called toxic, ne? I've been so toxic. You're so aggressive. And
Yeah.
then when shit hits the fan, then you call me.
Sure.
Don't fucking call me. Don't call me when shit hits the fan. Because I'm toxic. No, you can't do that.
But can't you be isolated in your various shades of who you are? Can you not be feminine in some spaces and masculine in
I'll be
others?
said, I'll be said, Penson, you too aggressive. Ne? So
Okay.
that speaks to a physicality, right? You're too aggressive or an energy or however you want to describe it. You're too aggressive. Okay, sharp. Then an aggressive thing comes through. Then you want to call me. No, I'm too aggressive. I'm not going to come. I'm too aggressive. You must manage it in your verbal innuendos.
Yes.
That's how you must manage it. Ungizelani mina? Because mina ngi-toxic, ngisilwane, whatever. Angibizi. You can't say the army is toxic and what, and then when you get invaded, ngiyacela bab toxic uzosilekelela. No, don't do that.
You believe all men should be aggressively masculine?
And
And what about women?
I believe that fish should be the best fish they can be, and birds must be the best birds they can be. I think everyone needs to strive
Strive.
to be, if she can,
Yeah.
a condor, a falcon, an eagle, as best they can. I think every man should be striving to be the shark, to be the what as they can, where you're not allowing yourself to be, because there's no bird that eats a shark, and there's no shark that is targeting an eagle.
Yes.
Yeah, one. So I'm trying to say, Uti, I believe that men should be try to be the best version of who they can be. And I think women should be the best version of who they need to be. And if I'm a child in a space where mom is the most powerful eagle and dad is the most powerful shark, I can learn from that.
Both.
Yeah, boy. Whether I'm a girl, I'm a boy, but if I'm looking at a king and a queen and bang fundisa, as best from their vantage point, I'm like, sharp.
Do you believe only outlier women should be in the army and the police, yet average men should be?
First and foremost, now this is a different topic.
Yeah.
Women can't be in the army, generally speaking. So
That's a pun, by the way. General.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, bafunani. But the outlier, definitely.
Yeah.
When you say outlier, you're saying the outlier woman who is stronger than the average man. The average woman is not stronger than the average man.
Yeah.
So, Mina, if I'm getting beat down by a guy, the average woman cop can't come in physically and dominate this guy.
Sure.
The outliers, yes. The general shouldn't. We need to be tailored to our strength. Generally speaking, women aren't testosterone driven. Generally speaking. So in terms of being a fight, in the States, just to give you a pop stat, in the States, women don't need to pass the physical test to be a firefighter.
Jeez. I didn't know that.
They just need to be part of it. They don't need to pass it.
They just need to complete it, essentially.
Essentially.
Okay.
There's certain things that they can't do. So I don't know if it's completing, if you can't do something.
Okay.
Lift this to there. They might not be able to do that. But they just need to partake in it. Where men, to be a firefighter as a man, you have to pass it.
Yeah.
Yet the pay is the same. The pay is the same.
Yeah.
So now you're at home and your house is burning and you're burning inside. Now you can make one phone call to a female firefighter or a male firefighter to come and save you at that point. Who do you phone? They're both earning the same. So your assumption is that they are contributing the same.
Their competence levels are at the same level.
But because of females and how they are born genetically, they've got limitations. We've got our own limitations as men. So please, so now I'm in a fire and I'm burning. I'm gonna call the cheetah. If this guy, if the barbarian's at my gate, I want the most toxic men in the world at that point to come and save me. I don't want your woke. Oh, it's about woke. Bazo communicate with my parents. Bazo team.
We speak about armies and the police. What are your thoughts around gun ownership? For yourself, for your three boys, and for men in general?
So we play rugby. I wish guys played more rugby. Guys, When last did you fold a man? Because I folded
What does
a man.
folding mean?
Umshaya. Ushaya indoda la. Ushaya indoda. Ushaya indoda.
Physically hitting a man, a
Physically.
tackle.
Yes. When last when you're in a physical, I can tell you last week, there was an 8th man that ran my channel. Don't run my channel. Because I'm going to fold you. There's something that you grow. And then when you get folded, as I've been 1,000 times, there's a humility about it. It's understanding that life is kuna le meme of Lomchita 80. A roller coaster. Yazi leyo meme le? There's ups and there's downs. I fold and I get folded, and that's the humility of life.
Yeah.
I bounce, I get bounced. I get tackled, I tackle. It's the humility of life. I love that for my boys from a physical point, because the lessons are very different than it is from a business point, or whether it is a work environment. It's very different physically. I actually had this conversation this morning, and I said, I want all my friends. So we started from touch. We started from touch and went from touch rugby, and I convinced all of them to go into actual rugby. And they fought me and they kicked me, but now they're all at actual rugby. It's one thing to touch a man, it's something else when a man is, yabo. Now that we're here, my next step is to get guys into fighting. I love fighting. Yeah? I love fighting because of the humility point.
Controlled fighting.
Controlled fighting, 100%. Because controlled fighting, actually, it makes you realize a guy can be bigger, smaller, taller, shorter. He's got his own strengths. There's guys where, when you first encounter, he kicks you in the face. There's guys who can tackle you to the ground. I love it. It's humility. It's respecting the next man. It's teaching you how to put your hands in your pocket. Umuntu maiti ini. When you're wrong, you're wrong. If I know that you are a professional fighter and I'm a professional fighter, if you've ever met fighters, they're the most respectable guys.
Respectful.
Really?
Respectful.
Guys that you've ever come across. Ever. Because they know Guti papa. Because we're equal in our own. After the fighting, I'd love every man that I know to own and carry a weapon.
By a weapon, you mean a firearm?
A firearm.
Not isakila.
Not a sakila, sorry. I'd love him to carry a firearm.
That's how your ancestors lost the land. Through the sakila.
This is educational. This is not about jokes. This guy loves coming on to jokes. It's so unprofessional.
Sure. Carrying a firearm.
Carrying a firearm. One, we stay in the country that we stay in. Two, as men, I believe we have a responsibility to look after abantu besifazane.
Okay.
Whether it is umuntu wakho, mama wakho, or just a random umuntu besifazane, I think it's our responsibility to step up and
To protect. That means a man must never lay a hand on a woman.
No. Lay a hand, kanjani? Like you're mhlukumeza noma discipline.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Let's say I've got a daughter. Let's say I've got a daughter who does the same thing as my son.
Okay.
But now 6.
Yes.
And I spank my son.
Okay.
Am I not allowed to spank my daughter?
So that's for children. I'm speaking about equal. When you speak about protecting women.
I was using that as example, as a statement around discipline.
This might be a slippery slope.
It might be a slippery slope. But
okay, let's let it go. Let's go with the protecting of women.
But again, guys, I'm talking about 6-year-old babies here.
Okay. You're going to get cancelled properly.
Yeah. But I was talking about spanking.
So men have a responsibility to protect women.
Yes, I believe so. I believe we do. We saw it in Ukraine where men had to, the law was you had to stay. Women were allowed to leave and go to Poland or wherever they needed to go. But men had to stay and protect Poland, you know. I believe it's our duty. And I believe the world is full of very bad people as well.
Yeah.
And as amazing as you may be, you know, 2 months ago, I had a friend of mine ask me, Penson, I know you love carrying a weapon. If you could press a button or you snap your fingers, whatever, for all the weapons to disappear in the world, would you? I was like, fam, you've just told me how selfish you are. I've already seen your life. One, are you asking me is criminality disappearing with the snap of the finger? No. Okay, so criminals still exist. 2, what happens if I'm at home and my mom is visiting and it's just me and my mom? And then 5 guys come with baseball bats. come no,
The guns are gone now,
There's
but
no
they have
guns.
baseball bats.
they don't even have baseball bats. Just 5 guys with their knuckles
Sure.
are coming here to dominate and they're saying, I'm going to rape your old lady. I'm not Mike Tyson, dog. There's 5 guys. What's going to happen?
You need an equalizer.
When you say guns must disappear, you're looking at it as me, as Penson alone. That's where I'm saying you are selfish. Because Penson can run away. Penson can fight one guy and we're born. Old lady might not be able to do that. Yabo? Not just a gun. I need you to find something that's going to equalize 5 guys carrying baseball bats.
Yeah.
You know, or 5 guys carrying 9mm, or 5 guys. If I could get a nuclear bomb, I'd get a nuclear bomb for those people. What is it that I can do to protect the women and the men in my life? And I believe that a firearm is the best, but I believe a firearm shouldn't go to a person who's untrained.
Yeah.
That's silly. I believe that we need to go through the journey of managing our emotions, stoicism, or whatever the case may be, so that we understand fully, this is just here so that should this arise, I can do 1, 2, 3.
Stoicism. Just in closing,
Yeah.
your wish and your advice for your 3 boys, if they ever get a chance to listen to you now, and your wish and your advice to men in general, specifically in this country of South Africa, in closing.
So my wish for my boys is get your daddy a Ferrari. Is that not a wish?
I think daddy must get his own Ferrari.
Yeah, but they can always give me another one. So I wish for happiness. I wish for happiness. The problem is getting to this top of the mountain. Happiness comes through challenges. It's one thing to get dropped off with a helicopter at the top of the mountain and you feel, look at the view, it's so beautiful. I wish for my kids to climb the mountain, because it's in climbing the mountain that you appreciate the view more. The challenges that come with life is what I wish for my kids. I wish for them to and never stop getting up from the challenges. I wish from them to understand Uguti, all the women that they'll have in their life, because they've only had female teachers, want the best for them. But they've never peed standing up, and understand Uguti, the life of a man is very different to the life of a woman. I wish for them to be strong mentally. I wish for them to be strong emotionally. I wish for them to be strong physically. So what I try and do for myself and what I try and do for them with time is I try and fuck them up physically, because it affects them emotionally and it affects them mentally. And I explain, I just want you to get stronger because I know how tough life is. I want them to get as strong as they can be. Not where I want them to be, or where they can be. I want them to be as successful as they can be. I want all men to realize they are the hero of their own movies. Your movie, Brazo, can be njengamanje uyaphanta udayisa ku-container, but that's your movie, and you need to be a hero of your movie. Or your movie can be pushing Uber, driving Uber, whatever the case may be. That's your movie. Dominate your own movie. Ungezwa ngabantu. Same with my boys. And I say to my boys, I'm like, wena ufuna ukudlani? Mdala uzodlani? Ngeke udle. I need them to understand ukuthi put my foot down, kwaqa. No, njengamanje ngifuna ukudla isinkwa. Sharp. Mina ngiyodla ama ribs. Wena uzodla isinkwa. But you put your foot down. Yabona, with time they'll understand the next step ukuthi I need to first control the financial narrative before I can end. But that's with time.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want them to learn little lessons. And I want Abafe to, if they do watch this thing, to understand Uguti, it's your movie and you need to push as best as you can. You cannot push as best as you can unless you control mentally, emotionally, and physically of your life. You can't have Penson coming to you and saying 2 + 2 = 10. But because you can't have umuntu who's going to control, I pay your salary. I respect that, but I give you a service. So 2 + 2 must equal 4 in your life. And you must be very assertive in your own space and however you are,
Yeah.
in order to achieve your full happiness. Or I believe once you get close to that, you're getting closer to happiness. And must be happy again, face. Whether uhamba ngenyawo, whether uhamba ngeLamborghini, you've won.
Penson, thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to welcoming you again if you haven't been cancelled on social media. Cheers.
How much am I getting paid for this?
Cut.